Okay, hey everyone, I am so excited to be back here on a Makers stage. Last time I was here was at the very first Makers conference back in 2014 when I was just 10 years old. Here's a clip of me talking about what it was like to be the only girl playing in an all-boys football league.
My very first speed drill, what they would do is they would have me run it. They'd look at their timer really confused. They'd have me run it again, and then they'd call some coaches over to come watch this. I'd run it again, and then they'd just have a wow expression on their face. And this was all throughout the tryouts. And out of 172 boys, I got first place in every speed and agility drill they had.
So there's little me. Since that conference, I have started the first all-girls tackle football league, which has been growing in popularity. We now have 31 all-girls tackle football teams. I filed a Title IX lawsuit, and as a result of that, they've offered girls wrestling along with more girls sports to come, and I'm planning on attending Columbia this fall. So a lot going on, and I'm thrilled to be here today as an interviewer instead of an interviewee, especially because I get to interview two of my idols. But before I do, here's another clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history. A once-in-a-generation woman.
Is your son right here?
She's my daughter.
There is always light if only we're brave enough to see it.
All the strong women out there. Hey Alex and Sue, I am so excited to be interviewing you two today. First, that video was incredible, it honestly gave me goosebumps. Gosh, I have played soccer and AAU basketball, and Alex, I actually have these cleats that were signed by you forever ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, I think I signed that for you in Portland, I feel like, years and years ago.
Yeah, it told me I had 10 years to be out there with you with the national team, so I think I've got 2 more years left to accomplish that. But, you know, I've kept them in my room motivating me. I've played AAU basketball and soccer, and I know firsthand that you two have been amazing in aspiring other girls. But even with amazing women in sports, I feel like we don't see enough of it in media, and there's just not a lot of coverage of women's sports. But you two are doing something to change that. So Alex, you started a media company. How did it come together? What's the goal? And explain the cool name.
First of all, Sam, it's so cool to be here with you. I haven't seen you in a few years, and honestly, like, you're always welcome back with the national team. We love having you there, your energy, like, it's just, your story is so inspiring. So just the fact that like you're here interviewing me and Sue is pretty incredible at your age. But you've already accomplished so much at your age, more than any other girl or woman that I know yet. But Togethxr is a company that I started with Sue, Simone Manuel, and Chloe Kim, and it's a media company. So what we're looking to do is really showcase all of these amazing stories that women don't have the platform to share right now media coverage is really lacking for women's sports, and we want to change that. And you have seen that also through your eyes, and starting on YouTube with your dad posting that video of you, and now filing lawsuits trying to get more women's sports, more youth women's sports. It's pretty incredible. We want to be able to share these stories, and I think that we've done a great job doing it. We've actually exceeded expectations on how well Togethxr has done, and we're hoping that this is just the biggest game changer that that we could have hoped for.
It's amazing. We know that girls drop out of sports at a really high rate around the age of 14. Do you think this media company can help girls continue to play sports around that age?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we're looking to really inspire and give girls more role models, more women to look up to. And it's really tragic to hear that so many girls drop out of sports at such a young age. And I feel like I was able to persevere because I had older siblings and I had such supportive parents, and I kind of had this sort of drive in myself and this confidence. But I feel like we all kind of need those role models to look up to have on our walls. Growing up, I didn't really have female athletes on my walls because I didn't know enough female athletes. We want to change that. We want to get us and the next generation in front of their eyes, as these incredible role models, as these incredible stories that have yet to be told and shared.
Yeah, that's amazing. Sue, it seems like companies who turn to athletes to promote their brands generally turn to male sports figures. But your CarMax commercial, which was calling attention to gender bias, was so well received it went viral. Is there a change that's happening?
There is a change. There is a change that's happening. I think, like anything, though, we know it's happening when we look back 10 years and compare it to now. So that's the good news, but I think the bad news is that there's still more to be done, and there's still more to do in terms of pushing the conversation forward, changing the narrative. I think the best part about the CarMax commercial was it was a really fun way to not put down a man. It wasn't about that, but it was to raise the level of a female athlete in that conversation with a male athlete, but again, in like a fun way. So it's changing, that bias is changing. I think Togethxr is doing something tremendous as a part of that, but there's still more to do.
Yeah. Do you think that companies who use male athletes in their marketing kind of have an obligation to use female athletes in their marketing to grow interest in women's sports?
I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. We make up half the population of the world. Women do. So you're really just kind of, by not highlighting women, by not using them in your, whatever it is, we'll use commercials as an example, by not using them, you're really not allowing half the population to connect. And it's not that you can't connect with male athletes. I think we all have stories. To Alex's point, we all probably looked up to male athletes growing up because there were no women, but that's not the way this world should operate. And I think that's the beauty of what's happening now. We're really in a place where we can change. I mean, it's a big statement to say, but we can help change the world and change how things are operated and change the status quo and really challenge it. So of course, the challenge to companies is always to include female athletes.
Right, and I think it's amazing you two are taking that into your own hands a little bit. So here's a question for both of you. When the Olympics was postponed, it must have been really disappointing for all the athletes. How did each of you deal with the postponement of the Olympics? Alex, we'll start with you.
So I think my my experience is a little different than most athletes. It was obviously, like, Olympics to me has been like the peak, like the highest. You might have heard my daughter in the back, sorry, is like the peak. And so when I look at all these athletes either possibly having to retire or wait another year to get their shot at gold and their shot at the Olympic experience, it was devastating. But for me personally, I knew it was going to be a big uphill battle coming back from pregnancy and playing on the Olympic stage within 3 months of giving birth. So I was up for the challenge, but having an additional year to prepare and get myself back to full health and not have to like put my body at risk of injury by coming back too soon, and being able to spend more time with my daughter without like lugging her around the world at 2 months old. It was a little bit of a blessing in disguise. So I think it was almost like there was goods and bads of it for me.
Nice. Sue, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, even though I didn't have a baby, so that's like a whole other. There was a part of me that was happy it was postponed and not canceled. So the way I kind of flipped it in my head was, yes, I was bummed that of course, I mean, bummed isn't even the word. I mean, this pandemic has been a challenge in so many ways for so many people. For me personally, I'm close to retirement, so the initial like, wait a minute. You know, does this mean I don't get to try to compete in another Olympics? Like, is that going to get taken away? But when I looked at it, when I kind of reframed it and thought of it in a way of, okay, it's just postponed, it's not canceled, I was able to kind of be happy. You know, I was able to see the bright side of it and the positives of it. And that's how I tried to flip it on its head to not get down. Was it, you know, hard at first? Yes. Were we all like, you know, now all of a sudden all the training you did for the previous year, you're like, well, what did that, you know, how did that even serve me at this point? I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. Was that hard to swallow? Yes. But again, it was just postponed, which meant it was going to happen and not canceled. So I could go to bed at night being happy about that.
I mean, it's great that both of you were able to put a kind of positive spin onto this whole COVID thing and the postponement. Sue, you're back with the Seattle Storm following your 4th championship, where you'll be leading the team as captain once again. What is your leadership style and approach?
My leadership style and approach. You know, first I'll start by saying...
All I do is win, win. That's Sue's approach.
All I do is yell at my teammate. No, I'm joking. No, I think my approach... Well, the first thing I'll say is, my piece of advice is, you got to do what's best and what feels right for you as a leader. I think it's really kind of... It's tough if you try to follow somebody else's leadership style. So the first thing I had to kind of figure out was what was going to be best for me. Because I think, I mean, Alex, I'm sure you could speak to this. Like when you're on a team and somebody tries to be something they're not, everybody kind of knows. And it's not like received well. So you really just have to be yourself. So for me, what that meant was just really developing relationships with my teammates. What that does is you kind of build this equity with them. So whether it's a good moment or a bad moment, they know who you are, they know where you're coming from. And that's like the trust part of it. So I go out of my way, not in like a fake way or a phony way, but I really genuinely try to get to know my teammates, try to get them to see that I'm gonna have their back regardless. So in the good moments, when I'm hyping them up and helping them out, they receive that. And then in the bad moments, maybe when they're not doing what they're supposed to, I can be the one to help them out and to say like, hey, you got to make those shots. Like this is a part of it. Right. And they receive that well also, because at that point, you know, because I've built that, I have that trust. So that's kind of in like one paragraph how I would describe my leadership.
I like that, like having the genuine relationships. That's definitely a good way to do it. Alex, you still have plenty of years left playing at a high level if you choose. I had a chance to train with you and your teammate Christine Sinclair when you were back with the Portland Thorns and we got the shoes signed and everything. She currently holds the international record, male or female, of 186 goals. Has it ever crossed your mind that you'd like to break her record? How many goals are you at? Is that something you're working for?
Oh man, I would say if I started with the national team at 16 years old, never had an injury, and don't have a baby currently, I could possibly get that record. But I am just gonna bow my head to Christine Sinclair, because holding that record, regardless of male or female, it's just incredible. And I don't know if I'm gonna reach that level, but all I know is I'm just gonna keep playing right now. I have a couple years ahead of me, and so in front of me, so all I want to do is continue contributing to my team's success and scoring goal. That means scoring goals. So if I get to that number, that'd be amazing, but I don't know if the math really adds up to that. But it's a good number to reach for. You know, it's a high goal to set.
Yes, 186 is Props to her.
Yeah, we'll take it one at a time here.
Okay, so to kind of end this off, we're gonna play a little game. I know we're all competitive, so perfect. We're gonna try and beat Gloria Steinem in a game that Makers calls the Makers Minute. Basically, I'm gonna give you 1 minute. I'm gonna have a little timer on my phone, and we're just gonna like rapid fire questions. The current record is held by Gloria Steinem, and it's 16. So I think we can get that done. Basically, I'm gonna start with Sue, and then Alex, you're gonna answer the next one, and you're just gonna have your one question, and then the next person's got the next one. Rapid fire. Let's see if we can beat.
Are we working as a team here, like me and Sue, for 1 minute?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I like this.
Can we pass? If we don't know, can we say pass?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm already finding the loopholes.
You're like, I know,
right?
All right, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, we'll try. I don't think any of them are too hard, so we'll hope we're just good there. Okay, ready? So, Sue, best word to describe you.
Easygoing.
Alex, what do you love most about being a professional athlete?
Scoring goals.
Sue, a female who inspires you right now.
Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, Alex, if you could be any other woman on earth for one day, who would it be?
Serena.
Sue, something that makes you hopeful.
Someone like you.
Oh, Alex, something that makes you angry.
Ooh, when my dog barks during Charlie's nap.
Sue, something you're afraid of.
Sharks.
Alex, something you wish you did more often.
Laughed.
Sue, something you wish you did less often.
Less often? Worked out.
Alex, your biggest vice.
Pass. I don't know.
Ooh, time's up. Perfect timing.
I think we got 10 questions.
Oh my God, how did she get 16?
Or Gloria must just like know herself really well. She's probably just like,
out of this world. Yeah, she's just rapid.
I feel like I heard the like clock like 3, 2, 1, and I was like, you know when you just get like, you can't think. You know when you're trying to go fast and then you go slower than normal speed? Yeah, that was me.
yep.
I think you did pretty good though. That was pretty nice. So thanks everybody for watching, and we're gonna say keep going on this Makers Women's Conference.
Thanks so much, Sam. It was so good to see you again.
Thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us.